Welcome to the second part of my spiritual awakening experience. I'm going to start off on October 18. That's when I became connected for real. Like I had this big stream of consciousness that I was connected with the divine, and I was aware of all the divine beings around me, especially Archangel Michael and all the angels. I became aware of angel numbers. My personal number is 128. That's also my birthday. That's not a coincidence. I started seeing 128 everywhere. And every time I see 128, I knew there was a message there for me. I knew to pay attention to that moment that was going to bring something important to me. I started getting messages through music and pay attention to the lyrics, and everything was about me. I was hanging out in my backyard and I got a playlist sent to me with a lot of songs about my life from the beginning to now to the future. And later on, I went to look for the playlist. The playlist was gone. But they say at the end of your life, you go through a life review, and that's exactly what happened to me. I knew it was happening in the process. There was intuition. There was like, I wasn't confused. I knew it was happening. I knew I was dying to this world, and I was being born in a spiritual sense. The whole process lasted about 2 weeks. I felt like I was Jesus in the desert being tempted by the devil, and I was refusing every temptation. And I felt like I was successful in that process. But I was very tired. My body felt like it was dying. I couldn't get up anymore. My body was very tired. Even though my mind was connected, my body was tired. I went 3 nights without sleeping, so I had to take a few days off work. And when finally that process ended, I was able to fall asleep, and not just sleep, I was hibernating. I was like, okay, this is my death to the world. I'm going to sleep. When I woke up, that connectivity was gone. But I felt something inside was shaky. And I don't know how to explain, but I felt the need to be in the water. So I went to the pool, and I was there for a couple hours, and I couldn't help but make the connection of baptism in the Bible. Like how at the end you have to be born again. So you die to the world, then you're born again. So that was done. And then August 21st, that was started the shadow process. And that's the least fun process because you have to face everything about yourself that you don't want to face. You know, we all think we're perfect. We don't have anything that we need to work on. But God, was I wrong? But what that portal means is that the karma of the last 33 years of your life is being restored. So everything that you've done is being forgiven. You know, you're given a chance of a new life. So you start over, start again fresh. So that's when I started like the deep spiritual connections. Every person that I talked to, even strangers, I wasn't having superficial connections anymore. I was just talking to everybody about deep things, about spiritual things. And I was able to connect with people with all levels of spirituality. Even if I just met them, we were able to find something in common. So I started following the guidance of these angels and this light. And I was aware that I was an earth angel. And I'm here to bring light to the world. On September 28th, that was when I had my first miracle through people. I was asking God to do something for me, and I wanted to do it magically. You know, I just want to, okay, I want this done here right now. And on that same day, some friends showed up at my house, and they did what I asked God to do. So that's when I was sure that God uses people as miracle in your life when you ask for it. So on October 13, that was Friday 13, I had the chance to meet with my devil. That's not actually the devil, but it's the person that I consider the devil of my life that veered me off my track. You know, I was doing this life path, and this person took me off my path. So I consider this person as the devil. And I was able to meet up with him, and we actually forgave each other and release. So that's when I was able to physically cut ties with the devil. So on October 14, the day after, there was the Ring of Fire eclipse. So I was able to watch the eclipse, and then I looked it up what the eclipse means. And that means the purification of the bride. And who's the bride? It's like we all the bride. We all Jesus' brides. And that means like just purifying your life. It's the baptism of fire. That's when you have to actually do the shadow work and go through everything and clean it up And that's what I've been doing ever since, releasing addictions. I stopped smoking. I've been smoking for 30 years and I was able to stop smoking. That's incredible. I never wanted to stop smoking, but something inside of me told me it's time. And when it's time, it's time. So I was able to do that. I was able to quit my job because that wasn't the path that was intended for me. And I realigned my actions to actually match my life purpose. So I was able to forgive people and ask for forgiveness. So that's cleaning up the karma. So you can do that in your mind, but you actually have to do it physically for it to work. So on October 28th, that was the end of the cycle, the end of the whole cycle and the new beginnings. That's when I started making all these changes in my life. So recently we had 11/11. So November 11, I made a wish that I have so many wishes in this life, but I have many dreams. And God wants to make our wish come true. God, spirit, source, however you want to call it. It wants to make your wishes come true and it wants to help you. So ask anything you want, manifest, use all the moon cycles. Everything is connected. The universe, as above, so below, as inside, so outside. So the universe outside reflects the universe inside. So that's why they say God is of the impossible. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. I felt that very, very deep inside. So I felt like I'm unstoppable. I can make anything happen now. So I made all these wishes. And now recently I had the opportunity to apply for acting jobs. That's something I've always done, an old dream of mine that I forgot a long time ago that I want to do with my life. And now actually I got the courage and the strength to quit my old job and actually go for what I want and what I'm meant to do in this life. Some things you have, like some dreams are silly that you have in your childhood, musics that you love, things that you used to do, and you think they were forgotten forever. They all came back to me. It's like I'm being back to my factory settings. I'm being back to being me outside of other people's expectations. I know what I want right now and I'm going for it with no fear whatsoever. So it's been an amazing process. I'm applying for my dream job. I'm taking all these bold actions, but nothing came from me. All came from the spiritual awakening experience. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, that not all is lost. If you don't like the way your life is right now, just do it, just change it. Don't be afraid to change it, because once you start taking the right steps, everything is going to appear in front of you. You don't have a way, you start walking and you're going to make the way. So during this process too, there's a lot of questions that came up in my mind. So I started buying these books to help me understand what was going on with me. So I want to share with you a few books that I thought were very special during this process. First is The Rapture. Rapture talks about, could there be more than one? This is in the Bible, about the 1,600 people that were called in this life to fulfill their life purpose and create heaven on earth. I'm also a big fan of tarot, and this book, Meditations on the Tarot, talks about tarot and Christianity. I know a lot of Christians don't like tarot. They think it's witchcraft, but think again, everything is connected. Also, Waking Up in 5D, because we're talking about fifth dimension here. We are all living in the third dimension, but when you have all these serendipity moments and all these things that you cannot explain, you are in another dimension. And this is my personal favorite, Oneness. This book explains everything, how we are all one, all connected to each other and to this one light, that loves all of us and makes everything possible in our lives. So I'm still reading this book, and from now on I'm gonna start like shorter videos to talk about numbers and tarot and everything, like Bible, everything that led me to this point. But thank you so much for hearing this video, and I hope you keep going and I hope you keep following, because we're gonna explore this life together in this process.